This video was created to help students who are having some trouble understanding how to enter formulas into their spreadsheets. To show you how to do that, I'm going to start with the Excel Assignment 1A. So this is the assignment that you do at the end of Lesson 1 for Business Information Management 12. And it's a check register that you're going to create using a spreadsheet. So it will do all the adding and subtracting for you. You don't have to do it every time. Now, in order to get to the spreadsheet, you have to look along the bottom of the assignment that you downloaded. That's in Business Information Management 12, Module 1, Section 1, Lesson ABC. And the review questions are here, and along the tab are the various worksheets or spreadsheets that you'll be filling in order to get the information you need to answer the questions. So I'm on Excel Assignment 1A, the check register. I have my Lesson A open, and what I've gone ahead and done is entered some of the information from the first few steps. So for example, I've keyed in column headings on columns A1, B1, C1, D1, and E1 with date, payee, check, deposit, and balance. I've made them bigger as I was asked to do. Arial 16, I believe it was, right there. And I've adjusted the columns so that I can see all the information inside each one. I've added lines along the bottom of my columns. And I've added in all the amounts that I had to put into my check register. So I have over here my $2,000 for payroll, Safeway 150, Cable Company 32, SO 18, Safeway is 55, 45 for school, 2,150 for John Smith and 2,150 for Jane Smith. Another deposit of $2,000 for my paycheck, and the last one is $155 for telephone. So all those amounts are in there, and I formatted them with the comma as I was asked to do in step 11. So now the picture below step 11 looks pretty much like my check register. So now I'm down to step 12. This is key in $10,000 in E2, which I've done. So that's my balance forward, or the amount that was in my bank account as of January the 1st. The first formula I have to actually enter in is in step 13. And it asks me to go to cell E3. And I click on E. So here's E. There's 3, and I know I'm in the right cell because it names it up here on the top left-hand corner. Up here in my formula bar, I enter my formula equals E2 minus C3 plus D3. Okay. Notice that the letters are all uppercase. That's the way they have to be when I'm entering a formula. And I have to put the equal sign in front of the formula because that tells Excel that this is a formula I'm typing in, not just some letters and numbers. I also have to put in or include in my formula cells that may not have any information in them at the moment or any amounts, but you'll see later on that this is going to be very important when creating formulas. And so what I want to do is create the same formula that I'll use over and over again, even if there is no information on certain cells on certain locations. So when I've entered it in, I think it's correct, I either hit Tab or Enter, and automatically the formula goes away, and instead the amount that the formula calculated is displayed in the cell. So when I started off with 10,000, added 2,000 more, the amount I came up with was 12, which is correct. So that's good. So now I go down to step 14, and step 14 wants me to change the amount that is in cell E2 from 10,000 to 20,000. So I will type in 20,000, 20000, hit enter or tab, and notice how the amount that was in E3 has changed automatically. So now it's reflecting what 20,000 plus 2,000 would equal, which is 22, and that's correct, or 22,000 I should say. So now I'll go on to step 15. Change the balance back again in E2 from 20,000 to 10,000. Hit tab or enter, and that returns the amount that's in E3 back to 12,000, which is what I want. So the next thing, so it says key in step 16, key the following formula in cell E4 and press enter. So I go down to cell E4, that's correct, and I type in the formula equals E3 minus C4 plus D4. Hit tab or enter, and I now have a new amount, 11,850, and I check over here on step 16, and yep, I'm good. That's exactly the amount that I should have. So now I go down to E5, and I'm being asked to figure out what formula should go in there. Well, if I follow the same pattern that I've been following before, I simply hit or add one more number to the formula that was keyed in cell E4. So if I go and look at that, that was E3 minus C4 plus D4. So I'll go down here. I will enter E4 minus C5, so I'll add one to the previous formula, plus D5. Hit enter or tab, and that's my new amount, which is 11,818. I look at step 17, that's the amount I should have, so I'm good. All right, so now it says delete 32 in cell C5. So I'll go to find cell C5. 32, I'll delete that. And instead, I will add a deposit of $1,000. So 1000, hit enter or tab, and my amount now jumps up to 12,850. I look over in my cell E5, and that's exactly what's there, 12,850. So I've done that correctly, and I can continue on to step 19. Now in step 19, I'm asked to enter the formulas in cell C6 to E6 to E12 and compare those numbers with the balance that's shown on the picture below. So I'm going to do that right now. I'm going to type in equals E5 minus C6 plus D6, tab or enter. Okay, and that's decreased by $18. That's correct. I go up here again to my formula bar, equals again E6 minus C7 plus D7. That looks good. Hit tab or enter. $55 more has been subtracted. Great. I'll continue on again. And at any time I can look over on step 19 see the balances and make sure that mine are corresponding to the picture. So I look at the Safeway 55 to 12,777. That's the same as mine. So I'm doing really well. So I'm going to continue on. E7 plus D8, which should be minus C8 plus D8. Tab or enter. Equals E8 minus C9 plus D9. Tab or enter. Equals E9 plus C10. Oops, it should be minus C10. Minus C10. Did you catch that? Plus D10. Tab or enter. That's good. Now I'm going to put 2000 in. Equals E10 minus C11 plus D11. Tab or enter. And I get an error message that says value. So I go back up here and look, and I see that I put in the minus sign twice. I'll take that out once. Tab or enter. And I forgot to put the 0 in here, so I'll put that in. So it's saying at E1 there's no value, so I had a problem. I was trying to add something that didn't have a number. Okay, and finally I will put in equals E11 minus C12 plus D12. Tab or enter. And my total down here for January the 18th is the same as the total that's listed in the picture, so I've entered everything correctly. Great. Now it says go to cell C13, and this time I'm going to use a formula to add up all the totals that are in cell or in column C. I do that again by starting equals, and I use the sum command, so SUM, a bracket, C2 colon C12. And that tells the computer to add everything from cell C2 all the way down to C12. Hit tab or enter, and there it is, 4,823. So that's the amount of checks that I've written. Key in the appropriate for D13. All right, so in this one I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to do equals sum, that means the total, bracket D2 colon D12, tab or enter, and the amount is $5,000. And what that tells me, oh, I better format it properly. There it is. That tells me that I've deposited $5,000 into the bank. And it says highlight cell C13 and D13 and go up here and hit the dollar sign. And I now put dollar signs on them so I know that those are dollar amounts. And I can format them with a double underline. And it says now go back and change the amount in cell E2 up here to 11,000. And notice how everything changes. Okay, so now that I've done all that, I can go back and answer all the review questions. So now you know how to enter formulas into the Excel spreadsheet to get the correct answers.